Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulunding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Memunaju Fadera. In the headlines tonight, President Barrow visits new COVID-19 treatment center. Gaj and Agriculture Ministry tour rice fields. Youth and Sports Minister addresses Burkama and Katong Youth Scorpion ready for battle. On the international scene, State TV, nearly 2 dozen dead in Guinea post-election violence. Turkey's president calls for sweeping boycott of French goods. Dozens of European countries report record COVID-19 rates. Well, those were the headlines, and now the news in details. His Excellency President Barrow today visits the new COVID-19 treatment center in Bakau. This treatment center is part of the government's efforts in fighting against the deadly coronavirus disease and strengthening the health sector in the country. Well, Maria Madam reports.
This COVID-19 treatment center is a maintenance project worth over $18 million. It's mainly funded by the UNDP and other private stakeholders such as Staff Africa Global. The center is, however, the former Ndeman Clinic in Bakau. The refurbishment of this clinic into a COVID-19 treatment center is aimed at creating more space for COVID-19 patients and also complementing the efforts of the Ministry of Health and the Gambia government in fighting against COVID-19 and strengthening the country's health sector. While speaking to journalists during the site visit, His Excellency President Barrow says his government deemed it necessary to create space for COVID-19 patients, which leads to the rapid transformation of the Ndemban Clinic into a treatment center, as it is also meant for complementing their efforts in fighting the virus.
The Ministry of Health, we are all involved. So we can create more space. For instance, if we have more COVID patients. That's why we have created a space of about 68. We can increase, depending on the need. But even after COVID now, this place can complement the efforts of the health sector, can complement RVH and other hospitals around. This is what it is meant for. But right now, it is set for preparing for COVID.
Barrow, however, says he is impressed and delighted with the new treatment center and further thanked their partners for coming to their aid, as the government alone cannot do it.
The government cannot respond to this quickly without the partnership of the private sector. So that's why we are partnering with the private sector, at least to do some of this work for us. And I think that we did a very, very good job. You don't have the opportunity to have the pictures before and now. It's completely fine. And this area also is very, very central. You can access it easily. So now I think the Ministry of Health and all the partners, I think we are now prepared to fight COVID. We pray that COVID is over in the Gambia, but you never know what is going to happen. But I'm really impressed and I am pleased, and I have a peace of mind that we have space now, whenever, in eventualities that happen, definitely.
The president described the media as a key partner in development and further thanked journalists for always disseminating factual and balanced news to the public. The treatment center will continue to operate even after the global pandemic. The president was accompanied during the site visit by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate, and other health officials. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Mariam Adem.
The CEO of GAJ, Abubakar Jawara, and an executive member from the Ministry of Agriculture recently visited rice fields in provincial Gambia carried out by Gambia Angola China Holding, while Mariam Adem reports.
According to Mr. Jawara, this is a multi-million-dollar investment project aimed at creating jobs for people in the rural communities. The rice fields in Kosmar, Basedamfa Kunda and Sotuma Sambakoy are expected to boost rice production in the country, at the same time offer employment opportunities to the people of Upper River region. Over $100 million is said to have been invested in the rice fields, with the construction of irrigation pumping machines from the River Gambia through concrete water canals onto the fields. The contractors are vigorously working to ensure that these landmark projects are completed on time. The GAJ project manager, Lamin Fafanjai, explained how they won the project from the Ministry of Agriculture, adding that these projects are funded by the World Bank. The CEO of GAJ Global, Abubakar Jawara, said he is very impressed with the project as it will reduce rice importation in the Gambia, as well as helping to eradicate poverty in the country, especially in URR. He further thanked the Gambia government for entrusting him with such project and added that a bumper harvest is expected soon. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Mariam Adem.
The Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports visited the people of Birkama and Kartong to discuss how to develop their communities as part of his plans. Well, our Senate tells us more.
Speaking at Birkama, the Youth and Sport Minister shed light on how to fulfill the needs of the people of Birkama and that of the youth of the country in general, and the youth for their support, and advised the gathering that the only way to the country and move it forward is the people to join hands together and put aside political differences in order for us to have the Gambia we always yearn for. The minister further says that he will work with the youth of Birkama to fulfill their desires. He added that his appointment came at a time when the government is budgeting for the 2021 activities, but he urges the people of Birkama, especially the women in business, that he will come to their aid as soon as possible, highlighting that there are two things that his ministry can do, which is to help the women selling in the market and any other businesses that they may be engaged in, while referring them to an association called National Enterprise Development Initiative, NEDI, which is here to help the women in business. He assured the youths that the government will also help through the development of football fields, basketball, volleyball and the parks as well. Yankuba Fati, a youth representative, says Minister Baji has been working with the youth since before he became a minister and he knows their problem. He urges him to help the natives of Birkama Nyambai, especially in the rainy season, and the electricity system is very poor. On behalf of the Yai campaign, Aja Fatunjai added that due to the bad condition of the road, some pregnant women delivered on the way even before arriving at the hospital. In Kartong, Honorable Baji said that many people were happy when President Adama Barrow appointed him as the Minister of Youth and Sports, and this is because of the trust President Barrow has in him, and he needs to deliver the best of his ability. The Minister of Youth and Sport also urged the people of Kartong to work in hand with him because development doesn't come from the sky, but the people have to work in order to make that dream come true, and he is ready to work with the people. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Awasane.
The Gambia national team coach Tom Sinfit shed light on the upcoming AFCON qualifiers hindered by the coronavirus pandemic, saying he believes that they have a competitive squad ready for battle, while Jacqueline Colley has more.
The Scorpions are set to play against Gabon in a home and away match on 12th and 16th of September, respectively. When the squad list was released, it was realized that 38 players were enlisted instead of the normal 21. Tom said during their campaign in Portugal, which is about 4 weeks ago, a lot of players were absent due to visa problems, injuries, and some due to the COVID-19 restrictions, saying they want to have a bigger squad in the pre-selection, but then it will be reduced to only 23 in campaign. The coach said in times like this, they will want to prepare for any challenges they might face adding that it is in a similar squad that camped at Portugal with a completely new player called Ibrahima Dabo from AS Roma. The team is a mix of experienced players and young players. Meanwhile, Tom fires back at those putting doubts across as to why he does not include Ali Sow, who plays for Europa League, in his club into the squad to play among the Scorpions.
Yeah, it's very strange that people always ask about one certain players. I selected, I think, 10 attacking players. Tell me which attacking player I don't have to select. I cannot play without goalkeepers. I cannot play without defenders. I cannot play without midfield players. So I need for every position alternative. And in the attack, I think Hassan Cisse proved already 2 years to be the right man on the right spot, with scoring 6 goals on national team level. Mohamed Badi Mossi has also proven on national team level his influence for the team, and also Noah Marong performed very well against Algeria last year and against Congo Brazzaville this year. So these players have a proven record in national team. Ali Sowe is a good striker, but let's put the fact correct. He scored 2 goals in 10 league matches this season. 2 goals in 10 league matches, not more than that. That means that Bouba Diop scored this weekend 3 goals for Ogrita, scored more goals in 1 match than Ali Sowe this season. So let's not always talk about the player who is not there. I know everyone wants to be national team coach and everyone has their favorite, but let's support the players who are there. Ali Sowe was not there when we beat Morocco. Ali Sowe was not there when we beat Guinea. Ali Sowe was not there when we played 2 draws against Algeria or when we beat Angola away. Then it were other players. So let's celebrate the players we have and not talk about the players who are not there.
He furthered that the team is going to play similar tactics that they played against Angola, DR Congo and Congo Brazzaville because the team is used to playing in that style. He said he has certain players in the list like Omar Jaju who promised to play for the Gambia. Usman Chodrame, team manager of the national team, said he is quite positive that the match against Gabon will not be complicated when it comes to the visa issues because it is a competitive one powered by CAF. He said as part of his job, he has already sent the delegation list to the GFF for those to go to Gabon for the match away. He said they have met all requirements of CAF, so they are not expecting any casualties in this journey. Jacqueline Collie, reporting for Star TV News.
Well, those were the local stories. We'll be back with the international news after the short commercial break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
Welcome back. After the short commercial break, we now look at the news beyond our borders. Protests are expected to continue in Guinea as opposition expressed their anger at last week's disputed election. There have been days of violent demonstrations after President Alpha Condé won a 3rd term. Now regional mediators from the United Nations, African Union and the West African Bloc, ECOWAS, are in the country to try and find a solution. Well, Al Jazeera's Barbara Ankopa reports.
This is what's left of Muhammad Kamara's home, razed to the ground during last week's election violence. Anger over President Alpha Condé's victory brought chaos and death to the streets in his capital, Conakry. It also brought looters.
We lost everything inside. We lost everything. We couldn't get anything out, not even a pair of shoes. Everything was gone. They took everything out and burnt the house down.
The government has made more than 200 arrests. It denies its soldiers are behind the destruction of property.
Today there are individuals who are civilians, who sometimes put on military uniforms and who shoot at people and burn shops.
Regional mediators have met with Guinea's foreign minister to try and heal the rift between rival political camps, which predate the election. President Alpha Condé says a constitutional referendum held in March allowed him to run again despite a two-term limit. The opposition say he broke the law by clinging to power. Dozens of people died during months of protests after Condé confirmed he would contest. Now the Constitutional Court must confirm victory for Condé to serve his third term.
Unfortunately, for some days we've been witnessing rising tensions that increased after the announcement of the provisional results. So we came to see how we can help to ease the tension after meeting with all the actors of the government, the opposition, the institutions in charge of the elections.
The tensions made worse by arrests of senior opposition figures. Critics say the detentions are meant to force the opposition to back down.
Not accept the results because there were lots of anomalies falsifying the results, and according to our results, we have won.
Opposition leader Salud Dalian Diallo, who claimed victory before results were announced, says police have barricaded him in his home. His supporters remain on the streets, raising fears of what might come next. Barbara Angopa, Al Jazeera.
Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has called for a boycott of French goods following French President Emmanuel Macron's call to fight Islamic separatism. In France, Macron's comments come after a teacher was beheaded earlier this month for showing cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad. Several Muslim countries have joined the boycott against French products. Well, Al Jazeera's Mohamed Val reports from Doha, Qatar.
Palestinian-Israeli protest against France outside the French ambassador's residence in Tel Aviv. It's a part of a wave of anger after French President Emmanuel Macron refused to renounce controversial cartoons depicting Islam's Prophet Muhammad. Earlier this month, French teacher Samuel Paty was beheaded by a Chechen attacker after he showed his students the caricatures during a class on freedom of expression. Muslims consider it a blasphemy to show any depiction of the Prophet. French officials insist it's an act of free speech. In Syria's war-stricken city of Idlib, protesters made their voice heard. In Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, they described Macron as an enemy of peace.
You have no idea about the strength of Muslims. If we rise, you will see that. So be careful.
Bangladeshi protesters held up signs with words from Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has said President Macron needs a mental health test. France recalled its ambassador to Turkey in protest, accusing Erdogan of even failing to condemn the murder of Samuel Paty. On Monday, the Turkish leader's spokesman responded by strongly condemning what he called the monstrous murder of Paty. But President Erdogan has thrown his weight behind the boycott campaign.
I'm now telling my nation, just as they're saying in France not to buy anything from Turkish brands, I call on my nation here and now, do not pay attention to French-labelled goods. Do not buy them.
Commercial businesses in Arab countries including Kuwait, Morocco, Algeria, Palestine and Jordan have taken measures to boycott French products.
Almira, which is Qatar's leading retailer with more than 40 supermarkets across the country, has been the first to decide a total withdrawal of French products. They say it is a voluntary decision, but it reflects the collective desire of its customers.
About 50 French brands have been removed from the shelves. They include food items, perfumes, dairy, hygiene and beauty products.
I commend this decision by Almira, and I hope that other companies follow its example. This is the strongest weapon we have right now.
At this shopping mall in Jordan, a sign reads, "In solidarity with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, all French products are boycotted." Supporters of the boycott hope it will produce results.
It's a statement of our position, and I'm sure it'll reach the French officials and will certainly make a difference.
France has criticized the boycott and asked for it to be stopped. But President Macron insists his country will never give in to pressure of any kind and will continue to fight what he calls Islamic separatism. Mohammed Al Jazeera, Doha.
Coronavirus cases are rising sharply in Europe, with dozens of countries reporting record infection rates. Meanwhile, hopes of a vaccine are growing in the UK, with the British government anticipating a mass rollout in the first half of the next year, where researchers at Oxford University are in the last stages of vaccine testing with encouraging results. Well, Al Jazeera's Navy Baker has more.
Hospitals across Europe are under mounting strain. In Spain, emergency wards are overrun with COVID-19 sufferers, many of them elderly. The countries followed France and Belgium's lead in imposing nighttime curfews, a response, said Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, to an extreme situation. One by one, countries are tightening restrictions. France has been reporting record daily figures, but a leading scientist who advises the French government believes the infection rate could be twice as high, adding to calls for a fuller short-term lockdown.
The virus is so present around us today, we no longer have a choice. We have to re-implement a lockdown, a bit like what the Irish and the Welsh have done, to reset the timer, allow ourselves to reorganize and to stop the saturation of intensive care units.
In parts of Russia, doctors are understaffed and overwhelmed. During the first wave, this hospital in Siberia handled only a few mild cases. Now it's overrun. A third of hospital staff have tested positive.
It's an ongoing war, and we have daily losses as medics get sick and people get sick.
Russia's racing against time to develop a vaccine. It's one of a dozen internationally in the final stages of testing. In the UK, the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccines reportedly shown an immune response in both young adults and the elderly. That's encouraging news, given the immune system weakens with age and the elderly are most at risk of dying from the virus.
10,000s of people are being tested. And so we are all quite optimistic that we will soon see the results of at least the first one or two vaccines being published, maybe even as early as December.
An effective vaccine would be a game changer in the battle against coronavirus. Several could be available simultaneously in the first half of next year. But with a vaccine comes a big question over who should get it first. Europe's braced for a long winter, but there's hope. Neve Barker, Al Jazeera.
Well, before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. President Barrow visits new COVID-19 treatment center. Gaj and Agriculture Ministry tour rice fields. Youth and Sports Minister addresses Brikama and Katong youth Scorpion ready for battle. On the international scene, State TV, nearly 2 dozen dead in Guinea post-election violence. Turkey's president calls for sweeping boycott of French goods. Dozens of European countries report record COVID-19 rates. That's all for this edition of the news. Do enjoy the rest of our programs and join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching.